Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of God. In this video, we will talk about the option called Copy Update. This is a new feature we have added. The goal is that, for example, you have created a revision using the splitting method. However, because the PO needs approval, or the revision needs approval, or whatever the process is, it takes time. So you have the ability to perform an update on the last approved baseline. So what happens when the revision gets approval is that you want to reflect the update you made on your old file, the old baseline, and reflect it onto the new revision. Of course, you could do this manually, or we have created the feature called Copy Update. The process is simple, of course, but we have a problem. And this problem, of course, is a feature in the tool. You'll find that when you run the tool, you'll have two features depending on the case we're about to discuss. The idea, simply put, is that the cost changes. Meaning you had an activity, for example, that was 100 reals. The cost of the activity was 100 reals. And the completion percentage before you did the revised was 50%. Consequently, we will find that our earned value has become 50%. So when we come to this date of ours and start splitting our activity into two activities, the part that will be completed and the second part will be not started, and both should be taking 50 reals and 50 reals, and the completion percentage for the completed part is 100%, and the not started part is 0%. Up to this point, the tool has no problem and handles the matter. The problem occurs when your cost changes, meaning instead of the activity being worth 100 reals, it became worth 90 reals, for example. So the remaining part started, instead of being 50 reals, it will be 40 reals here. So that's why the tool will give you two options to solve this problem. Let's assume that the completion percentage reached 60%. Instead of it being 50% at 50 reals, it reached 60%, becoming 60 reals. So here is the question. The 10% or the 10 reals, we have a percentage, either 10% or 10 reals. How do I transfer this to the new part? The first option is that I maintain the completion percentage. So I know that I have a 10% increase, so I will say 10% of the cost of the remaining part, which has become 40 reals. So consequently, I will have the earned value 10 in the earned value percent 10%, and the earned value cost will come out to 4 reals. This is the first solution. The second solution is that I maintain the earned value. Maintain the earned value, which we said was how much? We said 10 reals. Not the 10% then, which is that it was 50 and became 60. So I have an extra 10 reals. So I will maintain the 10 reals. Therefore, for this 10 reals to be treated as earned value, the activity's completion percentage must change. Consequently, when I say 10 reals divided by 40, it gives me a completion percentage of 25%. So the tool will set the completion percentage for you at 25%. So in short, we either maintain the progress, which is 10%, and the earned value comes out to 4 reals, or I maintain the earned value, which is 10 reals, and it comes out, yes, to an activity completion percentage of 25%. Of course, if the cost hasn't changed, you won't have any issues with this matter. Now let's see this feature inside the tool. How do we do this inside the tool? You will find Revise by Splitting, and underneath it, you will find Rebaseline and Copy Update. We have already explained these things, and now we will talk about Copy Update. When you click on it, of course, all tools usually have help. When you click on help, it opens an explanatory video for this feature. The first thing you do is select the XR, which is the old baseline you are updating. And then you select the XR, the new one, or the revised one that you want to apply the update to. And here is the suffix. Of course, we know that when you perform splitting, you split the activity using a suffix. So if your activity is A1000, you split it into A1000 and the second suffix R. The tool works using this technique. So it will look for the YAR to know that this is the part that is not started. You can change it as you wish, but this is the default for Al-Waha. Here are the two options we talked about. Fixed earned value. Do you want to keep the 10 reals? Or the fixed percent. Do you want to keep the 10% and have the earned value come out to 4 reals, as we said? So see which option is suitable for you and then perform the start copy update.